Hey there, y'all. So, I've been gone for a while, and I could sit here and list 1,000 ways why, but the short story is that I ran out of storage like always, but I just got a new phone, so we're gonna test the video quality and some makeup because that's what I do. So, today we are going to be looking at I'm just jumping right in, the Dream Urban Cover Full Coverage Protective Makeup. It says sunscreen, but foundation by Maybelline New York. It does have SPF 50, so that's really good. I got the Dream Urban Cover. I think they have like another one that's more like less matte and less full coverage, just like a lighter coverage, and I think it's kind of shiny, kind of like when they do have the Fit Me matte and Fit Me dewy. So yes. So I already pulled my hair back, but it doesn't like to stay back. I just used like 4 of these little clips here. I already primed my face a little bit just with a primer spray. This is just one I got recently. But we're gonna use normal primer. Normal, just like what everyone uses. I don't even know where, oh there it is. So I actually use a different primer regimen or whatever than I used to. But these are my old True Guys, and I'm just going to use them because I know how most, if not all, makeup performs on them really well. So I'll be able to see kind of how it works a little better. So yeah. So I'm just going to, okay, that was a lot, but I'm just going to put this in the back of my hand and rub it into my skin. I've already washed my face and moisturized using my new, like, I have a slight routine now for when I do makeup, so maybe we won't have as many breakouts if I start wearing makeup as much as I used to. Maybe I just have this mirror here. So I'm just priming my face, and then we'll get into kind of a little bit about the foundation while the primer sits. So like I said, I don't know if I fully mentioned it, I just said they're ones I use all the time, but these are just the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primers. This is like the really silicone-y one to go all over your face, and then this one is just the pore minimizing one, which has a little bit of color to it. So I'm just going to do this one on like the center of my face, like my nose, and a little bit on my cheeks where some of my redness pokes through, so that I get a little more coverage there. If I could get any out. Like I said, I'm running out of these. I'm mainly just keeping them for things like this when I want an oldie but goodie, but I know they're super expensive, and I found like something I like almost as well for quite a bit cheaper, so. But I still probably will buy more of these. Hopefully, maybe there'll be a gift pack soon. That's how I got those little guys, and I've been using them for like ever, it seems, and they lasted literally forever. I couldn't even imagine getting the full-size guys, so I'd probably literally have them for the rest, like, for at least a year or two. Okay. So I just put the primer on, and now let's do a little deep dive into our foundation. So it's the Maybelline New York Dream Urban Cover, like I said, and I got it in the shade 128 Warm Nude. I'll leave a time here for future me to put in swatches. I might not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I remember to, and sometimes I don't. But I'll put it, leave some time. Okay. So yes, it's in 128 Warm Nude. I did pick this up quite a while ago, back when I was gonna record videos, but I haven't used it yet. So it might be a little dark, since I'm probably starting to lose what little tan I had from the summer. So there's that. So it just, formulated with antioxidants to help protect skin with environmental aggressors. Sorry. That's what it says on it. I'm going to peel this little guy back here and see if it shows anything else about it that we like would want to know before putting it on our face. It says like it has like drug facts, so it has like the active ingredients, which are homosalate, octisalate, and a word there's no way I'm going to be able to say, but they're all just different kinds of sunscreen, which gets it up to that SPF 50. And it just says right here, I think, yeah. regularly use a sunscreen with a broad spectrum SPF value of 15 or higher and other sun protection measurements, including limit time in the sun, like all that things, because that's literally, I think that's more what the foundation is focused towards, like sun care and antioxidants, which is a lot of foundations, especially drugstore foundations recently. Protect the product in the container from excessive heat and direct sun. So it doesn't really say much about the coverage, but on the front it does say full coverage protective makeup. So yeah, so my face is a little sat. I'll show you guys what we're gonna do, and then let's just get into it. So I'm just gonna use my favorite Real Techniques brush that I can like change the settings for the coverage on, and I always use it just on mid, so it's like a normal foundation brush, but it's just my favorite. And then use a Real Techniques sponge on the other side of my face to kind of see the different coverage we get. This is the same, like the typical orange Real Techniques sponge, but it just is one of their limited edition colors. So let's just get right started. Let me just put some of this on the back of my hand. So it did come out, like it has a weird kind of dispenser. I mean, it works. It's just like nothing I've seen before. And it is a little liquidy, but I mean, it's not too bad. So I think it will be fine, like once it blends in. So it's kind of what it looks like. I tried to do like one, but that's fine. So let me just get some on this brush. I think we'll do the brush first, just kind of see how that looks. I'm sure it won't look as nice, but it'll probably give it better coverage. So let's just dive right in. So yeah, I can definitely tell this is probably gonna be a little too dark. But if I don't go in and bronze as heavily, maybe it should be okay. We'll see what it looks like when it settles into the skin and it kind of oxidizes while it's on. It is a little hard because I do have the camera actually like facing me and not using just like the front camera on my phone. So I'm looking directly at you guys and not like looking at me, but it's a little hard to see in this lighting. Everything on my like little mirror here. I'm just using one of my Makeup Revolution palettes. I love the mirror on this guy. Let me stop blending for a second. That looks like pretty good. One solid there. We're just gonna like try to find a little more light this way so I can tell you guys what I think. I mean, it doesn't look too bad color wise. You can see the difference like right here and right here the best probably, because my forehead for once, at least on the side, doesn't have a lot of acne, so it blends in pretty well right up here, at least in person. I don't know about on the camera, but it is quite sticky still, which is good if you're going to use any cream products. So probably actually work a lot better. But I always set my makeup. I try not to use almost any cream products other than like foundation. I don't even use like cream eyeshadows. They tend to get on my nerves as well. But yes, so that's what it looks like. That's one layer with the brush. I like it, but I definitely think 2 layers of this will probably be more what I want, but we're gonna see kind of how it looks with this sponge on this side. So I'm just gonna put, and it did take quite a bit to cover that side of the face, but also I was on a brush, so it absorbs, no, it doesn't absorb a lot of product, I'm a liar. But I was using like the brush for the first time and trying to just see what the foundation looked like. And on my hand it looks like it might oxidize a little bit, but we'll see what it looks like on the face. As you can see, it's a lot quicker with the sponge, as always most foundations are. But I definitely, honestly, I don't think I got too little coverage on this side with the sponge, but I think it is like I have less acne on my actual cheeks right now over here, but more here, so I need a little extra coverage here. But as always, I think they honestly look kind of similar, but I do think the sponge side looks a little just more natural, but still full coverage, but just like more less settled into the skin, and less like you're getting little like dry patches and stuff, because this just helps blend it a little better. I think it's a pretty good coverage, but like I said, I really like full coverage intense pigment. If you watch my channels, or if you just like want to know, one of my favorite absolute favorite foundations It's like one of my perfect shade matches right now, and I just love it overall, is this Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation. I love their brand, but that's my favorite foundation, and it's like super full coverage. That's why I love it, one of the many reasons. So, but the shade match isn't too bad. It's probably a little bit darker than me, especially I probably look crazy on camera, but in person it doesn't look, like in the mirror I have here, it doesn't look too bad. So I am gonna just add a second layer with the brush, and then just go over it with the sponge, which is like my choice of doing my makeup when I'm not in a hurry or anything. That's my way I would normally apply the makeup. So I'm just gonna do that and see if we can build it up to be something I really like and see what it looks like then. Okay, so one of the things I'm noticing is that it definitely takes quite a bit of the foundation to build up to the coverage I personally would like. And I have this little thing to hold my sponge in now, and I just always forget to put it in there anyways. But it's still, it like takes a little bit, I feel like. And I feel like if this, I think like more of the promises of it feels like it should be an everyday foundation you can just throw on and go. And if you like light coverage or even medium coverage, this could be one of those for you. But for me, I feel like I definitely would have to take more time to just like build it up to give the coverage that I would like from it. Also, I'm wearing a turtleneck, so that probably helps a little bit with the color match. So you don't have to see all of my neck and see how pale I am. Just going gently. I know you probably see some redness on my eyebrow piercing. It's not new, but I've had it for around 3 months, so we're not even going to deal with trying to make it look less red, because that's fine. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. I think I'm going to go over it a little bit with a sponge just to give more of like a just softer look to it, to make more skin-like. Like I said, I just turn over here because the lighting's better for me to see, and I think, yeah, I do like it. Not a perfect shade match. Again, I think you do just need to use quite a bit to build it up, but I do like the coverage it's giving at the same time. So I guess it just depends kind of more on the wear of it all and everything. I'm gonna put concealer on just so we can see like how it goes over top of it. I'm just gonna use from Juvia's Place. As I mentioned, it's my favorite. Especially at the moment. I also really like Tarte Shape Tape. I think they perform pretty close, but I'm out of Tarte Shape Tape, so I've been using this guy, so I know kind of how it goes over most foundations as well. Same with the primers. This is just their I Am Magic concealer, and I have it in the shade 21, which is very light, I know. So this is probably going to be very not the best because it's a little bit darker, but it's what I use. So I'm just gonna go, that was a lot, but okay. I'm just gonna put it everywhere, like the high points of my face. And I like to just blend in concealer with a sponge. I don't use a brush or nothing. And just blend it in with my sponge and kind of see what it looks like when we're blending it out. I like using like the big end of my beauty blender now just to get a perfect little like that. angle and then just going in to reblend it with the smaller side just to make it look a little more natural, not like I just have chunks of a different color under my eye like I do. That did blend it out quite nicely. Yeah, I really like how that blended out, the concealer on top of it, so I definitely think they're a good match for each other, at least this one. And I do think it's easy to blend out. Like I said, I just think it takes a lot, and I actually think it would probably apply easier with a sponge, but I just like to use the brush a little bit to get a little more full coverage with the foundation. But I definitely think that if you don't want it for like super full coverage, but you'd like enough to cover up your redness or anything like imperfections, blemishes on the skin, then use it with a sponge, and you probably won't use as much product as I did. So yeah, so I did forget to conceal right here on my smile line, so I'm gonna go do that and do my eyeshadow and eyebrows in a different video, and then I'm gonna come back to you guys, show you guys the finished look, and see how it wore just even after a little bit. And I will be setting, of course, with my favorite, the Coty Airspun Lucid Face Powder. Mine's just in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. So I'll be back after doing all of that, hopefully a finished look that's kind of cohesive. And then, yeah, then we'll talk about the foundation, how it looks so far, and do a few, or at least one check-in. Okay, and we're back. I did my eyes off camera for another video, and then I just put on some mascara, and I did my brows, of course. You'll always hear me mention the Goof Proof brow. I did use, oh my gosh, it's all messy, this little cheap guy. I don't know why, but it just felt like I wanted a little bit of a darker brow, and I think this is just in a slightly darker color than my natural brows. I think that's why I just was like, I need to pick it up. So far, so good. This actually, like, in natural lighting that I could kind of look at when I went into like a different room, or like close to natural lighting, or better lighting at least, it looked really pretty. I actually really like how it looks. Like I said, I do think I need to build it a little more for my coverage I like, but I do think it's really pretty. So, and it hasn't really settled at all. It's been on at least for quite a while, at least 30-40 minutes, while I was doing other stuff, other parts of my makeup. And I set the whole thing down after baking under my eyes and other places I concealed. And I actually think I forgot to bake like my smile lines, but I did put a little bit of concealer on them, and they still actually look really pretty right now, at least. So yeah, so I thought I'd come back and we could do like bronzer and blush on camera just to see kind of how it blends on top. Of course, I did use, like I said, a powder. I always do. I like matte foundations, so even if it's like a dewy foundation, I'm probably going to use a translucent powder on top of it. That's just how I like to do my makeup. I feel like I need that extra coverage. I probably don't, but I like to use it. So I'm just going to use my favorite bronzer I've been using lately from this little cute little chocolate I Love Revolution Praline palette. And I'm going to use the shade Temper, this bronzing shade. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to first wipe off my camera with my mirror with this brush, just because it's just translucent powder. And then just put just a little bit of this on, because that's what I used last time in the same brush, and was it like 2 days ago, so that way I don't get too much. I'm just going to go in with this cheek brush from AOA Studio. So which looks really pretty. I think it is. Blends out really pretty on there over top. Bronze up the forehead a little bit. And just a little on our chin slash, not chin, our jawline. Definitely don't just contour your chin. That'd be a little weird. I'm just going in to kind of blend everything out a little bit with this brush, and then we go in with our all-time favorite really big powder brush. Got it from Claire's 100 years ago. I'll probably never stop using it. I love it. Just reblending everything out so it looks nice. I'm just like 3 different mirrors just to get the best, like, it looks pretty good. Of course, I'll always touch it up if I need to off camera, just with a little bit of better lighting for me to see. That I'm gonna put a little more on my cheeks. I like some bronzer. Okay. Okay, so I actually really like how that applied. I normally always use my Juvia's Place blushes, but they have some shimmers in them, and last time I used them, I put way too much in. I did not like it. So we're just going to use this little guy, again, from an AOA Studio, and it's just called The Perfect Blush, and it is in the shade Wispy. So it's just a matte blush. It costs $1, and it works. It does the job. I'm going to see if this has, I tried to wipe it off because it had a lot of product on it last time. I think most of it's off. Okay, cool. So we're going to use this little cheek brush. It's just from Real Techniques. And I'll put very little, or little for me, please, just so I don't overdo this again. I'm just going to smile and pop this on the apples of my cheeks. I do think this gives me a very light blush, and I really like it. I'm going to build a little bit, by just a little, not nearly as much as last time, so I'm just going to dip in gently again to this little pan here. Knock off any fallout or excess. I do think that's really pretty. I did use a really, like I said, matte light blush, and I would tend to usually use something with shimmer, so that's why it looks a little different than I normally would, but I just had bad luck last time, wasn't gonna do it again. So that's really all we have for the face. I'm gonna pop on some highlight with you guys real quick, just so you can see that everything is actually applying really well over this foundation, as long as it's set. I didn't leave anything unset to try it, just like I said, that's not how I do things. So I'm just going to take this Juvia's Place highlighter, and it is their the Tribe Highlighter Volume 3 highlight, and it's literally my favorite highlight in the world. And I'm just going to take it on their face brush as well. It's just the Juvia's Place highlighter brush 01, and that's what I'm going to use. Like, again, this is one where I don't know if I even cleaned it a little, because this is literally the shade I use every day. I use this highlight just because lately I love it. So it's been my like go-to highlight lately. So I'm just gonna pop this. Whoa, almost slapped myself in the mirror. So like I said, I was really shimmery last time, so I'm just gonna do a lot of my cheeks and my cupid's bow so I don't look over shimmery. So this is it. This is like me basically checking off for this part of the video. I'm gonna unclip my hair